More than 4 decades have passed since the release of the cult film Alien, which first captivated audiences in the distant year of 1979. Today, those who watched the crew of the Nostromo with bated breath during their horrific encounter with the xenomorph could very well have grandchildren by now. Nevertheless, Alien continues to be at the center of attention, spawning new theories, films, and discussions. The latest installment of the franchise, Alien Romulus, has proven that the franchise not only maintains its popularity, but continues to evolve, resonating with a new generation of viewers. In the near future, fans can also look forward to the series Alien Earth, created by the mastermind behind the cult classic Fargo. In this video, we will try to understand what makes Alien so timeless and relevant, why it captivated audiences back then, and why it still leaves them indifferent today. To simplify it as much as possible, any film about Alien, with rare exceptions like Alien vs. Predator, consists of 4 key elements: space, an alien monster, an android, and a woman. Take any film from the franchise, and all of this will be present. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. The presence of all 4 of these elements does not by itself explain the unprecedented success of the first film and the franchise as a whole. In fact, Alien operates on levels that affect us almost subconsciously, and a dominant part of the not-so-conscious content of Alien is our phobias and fears. One of the strongest fears that Alien masterfully exploits is the fear of confined spaces, intensified by the paradoxical fear of the vastness of space. Inside the spaceship, the characters find themselves trapped in narrow, cramped corridors. The situation is aggravated by the fact that in these small spaces lurks a dangerous and unknown enemy, the xenomorph, from which there is literally nowhere to run. There is no room for maneuver. You cannot leave or escape, but it's not easier outside. There is the cold, infinite cosmos, which terrifies with its scale and absolute hostility to humans. Space is a place where survival is impossible. There is no air, no solid ground beneath your feet, no space where you are completely detached from home, from the earth, from everything familiar. Space makes you feel small, defenseless, and insignificant. These 2 fears, the confinement of the ship on one side and the infinity of space on the other, create a unique combination. It is a powerful tool for impacting the viewer, making us feel just as vulnerable. The group of fears underlying Alien includes fears related to death, health, diseases, and invasion into our bodies, things that terrify each of us at a basic level. The xenomorph taps into our inner fears, the fear of diseases and parasites, reminding us that at any moment, something alien and destructive could invade us. Recall the scene where the alien infects a person, turning their body into an incubator for an alien creature. This is a violent process that robs the person of choice and power over their own body. The facehugger acts as the perfect parasite. It penetrates inside, paralyzes the victim, and implants something alien and deadly. Another theme in Alien that pulls at the strings of our subconscious fears is technophobia. It primarily manifests through androids, characters that are outwardly indistinguishable from humans but devoid of humanity. For example, Ash, following his programming, conceals his true intentions until the last moment, putting the crew's lives at risk.
And you let him in.
I was obeying a direct order, remember?
You let him in. I followed a direct order. Remember? This image reminds us that machines, driven by cold logic, can act against human interests, transforming from helpers into threats. After the experience with Ash, even those technologies that seem reliable evoke distrust in the main character. In Aliens, the android appears friendly, But Ripley, having experienced Ash's betrayal, continues to distrust him. Stay away from me. You get it? This reflects a general fear that the technologies we create can spiral out of control and become dangerous. Androids embody all our fears related to the intersection of technology and human nature. We fear losing control over what we have created. We fear that technologies will become too intelligent and independent. Their perfection and superiority frighten us, reminding us of our own vulnerability. Add to this the fear of job loss, and the android becomes a symbol of our deepest anxieties and uncertainties about the future. Thus, films about Alien work with our feelings, addressing our ancient, basic fear of the unknown, our distrust of the artificial, and our instinct for self-preservation and survival. But this is not the only thing that makes the film Alien a cult classic. Despite the fact that the events of Alien are detached from Earth in both the literal and metaphorical sense, the film addresses issues that are close and understandable to everyone. One of these themes is corporate greed and the disregard for human lives in the name of profit and corporate interests.
And a damn company. What about our lives, you son of a bitch?
I repeat, all other priorities are rescinded.
In the very first film, the crew of the Nostromo faces not only the horrors of space and an alien monster, but also betrayal from their own company, the Weyland-Yutani Corporation that sent the ship. From the very beginning, the lives and safety of the crew are placed second. The top priority is to ensure the delivery of the organism for research. Everything else is secondary and of no value. This decision demonstrates a severe degree of indifference to the fate of people. Coldly and ruthlessly, guided by corporate orders, the crew members are merely expendable resources that can be sacrificed for a more significant goal. Corporate greed and cynicism of Weyland-Yutani continue to be key themes throughout the franchise. In Aliens, we see how the company again tries to exploit xenomorphs without caring about the consequences. Just tell me one thing. Are you going to destroy them? Really? In Alien Resurrection, the thirst for power and profit reaches even more insane and dangerous levels. These creatures themselves are astonishing. As I mentioned at the very beginning of the video, the woman is one of the essential elements of the Alien story. In 1979, when the film was released, this image was not dictated by trends or so-called agendas. Unlike modern trends where women often find themselves at the center of the plot due to the demands of the times, Ripley became the heroine because the plot itself required it, bringing an unexpected twist to the story and making it truly captivating. In classic horror films, women most often played the role of victims, those who run from monsters, need saving, and become objects of fear. But in Alien, everything is turned upside down. Ripley does not just survive, she takes on leadership and resolutely confronts the threat.
The air shafts. Will you listen to me, Parker? Shut up!
Let's hear it.
This makes her character unconventional and unique for that time. If a man had been in Ripley's place, it wouldn't have been as impressive, and the ending wouldn't have been as thrilling and memorable. Moreover, her character is both erotic for the audience and inspiring for women. She is not a superhero, but an ordinary person forced to fight for her life, and her victory feels more genuine. Thus, Alien became a cult film due to its unique elements that operate on a deep level and do not lose their relevance even decades later. The fear of confined spaces, the terror of infinite space, the horrors of losing control over one's body, the fear of technology, all of this grabs us at our most basic instincts. It makes us feel trapped, as if it is happening to us. And Ripley, portrayed by the esteemed Sigourney Weaver, at the center of this story adds genuine emotional tension. And frankly, it is these fears that resonate with me the most. For despite the fantastical nature of everything happening, Alien strikes at our most vulnerable points, creating an unparalleled atmosphere, oppressive and chillingly believable. This is not just a film about a monster, it is a film about survival in circumstances where it seems everything is against you. Cramped corridors, lifeless space, unpredictable androids, and a monster that cannot be understood or controlled. Everything else is just a pleasant bonus. That very social commentary about corporations willing to sacrifice people for profit certainly adds sharpness and depth, but it is not the main point. The main thing is this primal fear that Alien brings to the surface, making us experience every moment alongside the characters. The Alien franchise began as a horror, but with the release of films like Prometheus, the story has been enriched with deep philosophical reflections and themes that brought it closer to science fiction, which had not been present in these films before. Thus, Alien has become not just a horror film, but a true cultural phenomenon that continues to stir and inspire viewers. Its unique combination of fears, realism, and deep themes keeps it relevant even decades later. The film reminds us of our most vulnerable points, prompting us to reflect on the nature of human existence and what it means to be alive in a world full of dangers. Alien is not just a story about survival, it is an exploration of our fear of the unknown and our ability to confront it.